Hi, I am here at DS Tech with Aaron and Dave, and unfortunately, our special guest couldn't make it. But we're still going to cover those 5 questions that I said we were going to cover, in general. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have him back on to not only answer your questions, but also to go into a little bit more depth into what you need or don't need, right? Because we know some of the generals, so we'll make sure, because we've been talking to insurance agencies ourselves, and DS Tech is insured, so we do know a little bit about it. So let's tick through some of these questions, guys. Number 1 on my list is, what does cyber insurance cover?
So what is it?
True. What is it? I guess that's a different question right there. Let's start with that one and then go to our 5 questions. What is it and what does it cover, Dave?
Well, speaking in generalities, because remember, we are not an insurance company. I want to put that out there. Cyber insurance is if you are attacked by the bad guys, you will incur costs. That is a given, right? And so we're going to talk in a minute about the different 3 aspects of cyber insurance. But you buy insurance like you protect your car, your house, your business, right? And so if you get attacked, the insurance kicks in and helps cover costs associated with a cyber attack or being crypto locked, whatever it might be.
What kind of cost? I mean, what kinds of costs? Yeah, what kinds of costs does that cover? I know that we don't know the details because we're not the insurance agency, which we can find out from Justin when he comes. But yeah, what does it? Do we have a general idea of what it covers?
Yeah, I think the information that we were sent previous has some pretty good detail in there, and there's no standard formula or template for any of this to be kind of put in place, but it's a list of questions, and they cover many aspects of a business, not just their IT and their services and support, but also that personnel piece of it all. And like most insurances, depending on the spectrum of some of the practices and policies you currently have in place, will determine the overall cost of the liability. It's a risk factor is really what it boils down to, is how much risk is involved.
So if I put that in layman's terms, where they have a list of things that you have to have in place to help protect your data and your customers, right? And depending on what you have in place depends on how much it costs for them to insure it, or if they'll even insure you at all.
That's a big point. There is a minimum level for them to even insure you. And then the higher you get on the security ladder, the lower your premiums can be. If you look at your homeowner's insurance, if you've ever looked closely at it, you get reduced rates for having fire alarms, for being, strangely enough, close to a fire hydrant, right? Where if the fire department can come and get water to your house if it's on fire in a hurry.
We have a pond.
Yeah, it's just as good out in the country. So those are factors that are, that can determine the cost of what you're going to pay if you can even get it. So we talked a little bit about it. Your backups, do you have a plan, data recovery, antivirus, network security, firewalls, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a really, really great example would be, and I know some people and clients don't like this, but that multi-factor authentication, and having that in place is going to greatly reduce your security vulnerabilities and potential threat risks. But just something just like that is going to allow you to potentially achieve some sort of insurance better premiums because of that. So little changes like that can really drastically alter any ongoing costs.
All right.
You got to respond to the video.
But okay, going back to that question though, what it covers. So what do they pay for? Like, I mean, you're gonna lose revenue because you're down. You're
Yep.
gonna lose, you know, there potentially could be the ransom itself if it's ransomware, right?
Yep.
And
Pay
legal
something.
fees, right? I mean,
Well, the first one is if it happens to you, typically the first cost is to have someone come in and clean it up.
Or
Right.
keep it quiet, or help the process. Correct.
Well, go in and get in your network and get rid of all the malware and
Yep.
and make sure there's none hiding on someone's computer over in the corner in accounting, right? So it doesn't persist in your network and getting you your data back and everything, so that's like an IT company coming in. There's going to be a cost associated with that. So
What about incident response type costs? Because with a breach or a potential risk or threat, there's going to be a need to involve your client or the clients of the organization. So what about a PR incident response type? Does the insurance help cover some of that cost?
that's something to look into.
Mhm.
Another cost is you're going to have liability claims, right? Hey, I'm your customer and you let my health insurance or my health information out, my social security number, you breach my personal information. I'm going to sue you. So you better have coverage for that. That's another section of it. And then the last one is you're out of business for a month. You've lost revenue. You need money to make that up, payroll, supplies, pay your vendors, etc. Those are the three primary focuses of the insurance.
Whatever service.
just like any insurance situation, that makes me think, like if something happens to my car, I mean, I don't want to have to use my insurance, but I'm glad I have it because I get my car replaced or whatever. But your business, we have some horror stories I'm sure we could talk about, but we don't need to do that, right? So I think we actually covered all 5 questions. I was looking at it.
The good
Yeah.
part is next week we'll have an expert with
Yes.
us.
Yes, I did get confirmation while we were speaking. I saw my email pop up that he responded, and he was like, I have it on my calendar, so he will be here next week to answer in more detail these questions and some more. And he knows his stuff because he's helped us. So
And he works for an insurance company.
absolutely, and that's his primary job is the cyber insurance side of it. So anyway, I'm excited to have him here, and I want you guys to bring your questions. So, email any 3 of us, or just email DS Tech or call us and, give us your questions so that we can include them next week when we have our expert on the panel. So get our newsletter too, so that you get notifications of what we're talking about on our lives. And also I send all kinds of articles on helpful tips in your business that your employees and you can use in your office to make you more efficient, to make you more safe, all kinds of stuff. So,
And stay tuned for some exciting news. We might have some other
oh yeah, we have some events coming up. I mean, some actual events, right?
Yep.
I hope they're in person, but we'll see.
Me too.
We'll see. Aaron, are you frozen?
No,
Oh no,
I'm
you're
here.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. You must have been reading something. You looked frozen. All right. Well, thank you, you guys. Thank you for your help answering these 5 questions. We'll
You
see you
bet.
next week with
see you.
Justin.
Probably.
It'll be fun. All right.
All righty, back.
Option.